What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. As you saw in the title, we're going to be making our custom quick change subframe for the E82 competition drift car. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up. I am coming to you from the future while I'm editing this video, cleaning out my hard drive, and I lost probably the first third of this video and I can't recover it. So some things you're going to miss are me going over which quick change that we got, which I'll put some pictures here. We went ahead and got a Bulldog Quick Change unit. I discussed a little bit on the differences between the two main quick changes you can get, which is a Winners, which is great, it's been around a while, but there is some flaws and some things wrong with it. And then you have the Bulldog, which we went with. It's the biggest, it's the baddest. I have yet to hear of anyone of any level of driving actually break one of these units, so it's obvious that's the route that we had to go. Now, in some of those clips that I lost, I stripped the subframe down, I welded in a lot of the holes all throughout the subframe just to strengthen it a little bit, and then I put in our RevShift billet aluminum mounts just on the bottom half because we had to remove them later in the video, like you will see. And I made a jig to tie together all 4 points of the subframe so we can go ahead and cut it in half. And we don't have to worry about it shifting or getting misaligned or anything weird. So this video is going to start a bit abrupt and it's going to go right to the point where we start cutting the subframe in half. I just kind of want to give you guys a heads up as to why the video is starting as it does. So let's jump right into it and I hope you enjoy it. All right, so I'm trying to fit the diff in right now. I cut it like a 16" short on each side like I was telling you guys and pretty much nailed that. So I have just a tiny bit of trimming to do here and it'll just pop right on in. All right, so I've been trimming it down. I got it to drop into place to where it's all actually in there now. The fitment is incredible all the way around, damn near perfect. I have to trim a little bit more of the inside of this because it's touching, and then this will drop all the way to the ground. We've got about 1.5 inches, 2 inches lower that we need to go, and we'll be all good. Okay, so I have the subframe into position. It's all fitting really good. This is how it's looking right now. I have the output flanges of the diff equal with the highest point of the subframe for our axles. I need to go ahead and tilt the diff at about 2 to 2.5 degrees to match the angle of our engine and trans, so it's all parallel as well. That's the best way to do it. Right now it is actually leaning forward, so I need to go ahead and jack up the front, and I will get my angle gauge here, put it right on the cover, and we'll go ahead and just jack it until it is about, like I said, 2 to 2.5 degrees. All right, I have everything in the perfect position. It's ready to be welded. I went ahead and raised the subframe up about 1/2 inch with some of these wood spacers, just for a little security, just to get a little extra height for our axles here. We have the diff perfectly centered, every single angle and corner that I can imagine. So what I'm gonna do, start throwing some tacks in all around. I'm gonna need to add some gussets here soon as well, but for now, this is how I'm gonna do it. We'll weld across here. I'm gonna add a gusset on the side, but I wanna be able to at least get everything in place so I can separate the subframe from the diff. We can get it up on the table and finish welding it out, not here on the ground, to be a little more comfortable. So let's go ahead, start welding this out. I am probably gonna torch this so I can make sure the penetration is extremely good, and we'll get after it. All right, we got the majority of it all welded out. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. I still need to make some gussets for the side here so this plate doesn't flex. We need to weld a bar going across this point, gusset the inside of it also, so we still need to add some strength to this. We also need to plate all of this off on the inside, box the whole thing out. But right now I'm letting it all completely cool down. I don't want anything to warp. Finish getting this thing welded out, welding the bottom, doing all the gussets, the bar, and the whole nines. All right, so the gussets are in. It's all welded all the way across. Looks pretty dang good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pull the diff out. I really wanted to reinforce everything and weld everything I could with the diff in. I didn't want to risk anything warping or moving. It is now definitely reinforced enough to where I can take the diff out and put the subframe up on my crappy little plastic table and just flip it over and get to welding and reinforcing and doing the rest of the gussets. So let's just knock all that stuff out and I'll show you guys when I'm done. And guys, please ignore my disaster of a garage working on the ground. I'm using a bunch of tools right now in a little space, so it's so easy for this place to get cluttered, so bear with me. All right, I have all the welding done to mount the quick change. I have everything gusseted and reinforced. Check it out. Here it is. Turned out pretty decent. I'd made some gussets to go just kind of all over random spots. Reinforce this area that I cut out. It's all good to go. Turned out pretty decent, definitely strong enough. It'll work well. Now, like I was saying, the mount for the toe arm is this guy right here. It's a super thin plate, and I don't know how well you can see, but this is a slotted sleeve that goes all the way through to both sides here. Now this point is super common when people get hit for the tab to rip, the sleeve to rip, and totals the subframe, and is a huge pain in the ass. Now, there is technically relocation brackets you can do that make it FD legal. FD doesn't really allow you to reinforce mounting points of the subframe. But right now there's a couple other pro drivers who are talking to the director of FD, trying to come up with a solution that we can do here so we can reinforce these spots. In a perfect world, if I wasn't trying to make all this FD legal, I would just cut this off, plate this whole area, make a whole new mount to box this in and make it strong. I mean, I can literally flex this with my thumb, and it's just super weak, which sucks because that just crumbles when you get hit. It's probably gonna be a little bit until I get answers on that. So for the time being, I'm gonna unbolt it from the jig, get it out, and we're gonna take it over to Paint Pros. They're a local auto body shop here in Jacksonville. Jeff, the owner over there, is a badass dude. I've known him for a little while, and he's given me free reign to use a lot of his stuff. So I'm gonna take this over there. We're gonna sandblast it. I don't think I'm gonna powder coat it yet, just because like I was saying, there's still some fab work that we need to do. But I wanna go get it sandblasted because I'm not trying to wire wheel this whole thing. And then we'll go ahead and hit it with some Steel-It, some black Steel-It, to give it a nice finish and something I can easily clean off and do the rest of the fab. So let's go over there and check it out. All right, guys, we're back from Paint Pros here in Jacksonville. Like I was saying, they let me go over there and use their big Mac Daddy sandblaster that they do entire chassis with. It's a badass unit, works extremely well. Turned out great. I got every single little nook and cranny. So much better than trying to clean this thing by hand. It's a little late right now, so I'm gonna go inside for the night. Tomorrow we'll come out here. We're gonna hit this thing with some black steel it. Like I was saying, we still gotta do some reinforcing and redesigning on the actual tow arm mount on the subframe. All right, guys, I spent a lot of the day today going through. I went ahead and plated both sides of the subframe for the tow arm bracket like I was showing you, where it's slotted with a sleeve. Plated both sides, welded a tube between them, rebuilt the arm. It is solid and stout, and now the arm will bend and break before the subframe does. I want this to be stout. I want it to be strong. I don't want to have any issues with this thing. So here it is. We got gussets on all the arms. Like I showed you, rebuilt these tow arms. I'm probably going to put a couple sight holes on each side. And there it is. This thing is stout. Also, all the corners here from factory were opened up. So I went through the whole subframe, welded a lot of the holes throughout the whole thing, so it is just as solid as it can possibly be. So now I'm gonna wipe it down, take it out back, and hang it from a little tripod swing I have for my daughters, and we're gonna get this thing sprayed with some Steel It. All right, it's all painted. Check it out. Sun's going down, but I was able to get it done. So now we will let this dry overnight, maybe for a couple days. I'll get back with you guys and we will get our billet mounts in. We'll mount the diff in there and we'll go ahead and throw it up in the car. All right, guys, so everything's painted. It's been a couple days now. The subframe has had time to fully cure. I went ahead and got our billet rev shift bushings, brought them over to my friend Andrew's house, used his press, got them all pressed in. So the subframe is all done, ready to go. We have the differential that's all good, ready to be mounted in it. Let me go ahead and show you guys the subframe, how it's looking. We'll get the diff mounted in there and we will throw it up into the chassis. Here's how it turned out. I am so happy with it. Everything's reinforced. The weak points are all fixed. Also, off camera, I went ahead and finished the underside of the car, got everything all prepped, got it cleaned, and got it painted. So the lighting's probably going to be kind of bad. We used the Steel It just like the rest of the chassis, and it is all nice and painted and looks so good. All right, we got it in. Check it out. Clearance is good all the way around. I was a little worried how our clearance would be up top, but we are perfect. Nothing is touching. Beautiful. All right, guys, so the differential is in. It looks incredible. Everything bolted up fantastic. Nothing shifted. I'm super happy with it. Clearance is great. I don't have to cut into the chassis. Everything's hard mounted, so it shouldn't shift around. It is clocked backwards right about 2 to 2.5 degrees, just like the engine and trans. That's exactly how you want to do it. All right, guys, so it had been a few days since the last clip, and there's a couple things I changed on the subframe, and before I end this video, I want to show you exactly how it's looking now that it's all said and done. So it's all in, it's finalized. I reached out to DMI, who actually manufactures these Bulldog Quick Changes, and they had hooked me up with a custom laser etched Sturman Racing cover. So that is super rad. I also went ahead and made this brace that runs underneath for a couple reasons. One is to tie the subframe together at the bottom. I've talked to a couple pro guys who drive like an E92 and an E82, and it seems like these can actually flex a little bit, and the last thing I want is the subframe to crack or break or, you know, change my alignment or do anything funny. Also acts as like a skid plate, kind of. It just gives something a little bit lower than the super expensive quick change that I don't want to just slam into the ground. So that kind of has a dual purpose, and it looks really rad as well. So everything is in, it's finalized, it looks really good. I'm very happy with it. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.